So about 4 years ago, I made a YouTube video called, I think it was called Montreal YouTubers You Need to Follow. At that point, I was still pretty new to Montreal, and this was just a collection of video makers in the city I'd found who I thought made interesting content. So I thought I'd do a little updated video, starting with a channel in French. I'm gonna try to show some more love to the Quebecois, Franco channels this time. Of course, I am an Anglophone, but sometimes it's great to get a different perspective on life in this city. And there's definitely a thriving French scene here. So one of them I found is called RAD. And RAD is this is part of Radio Canada, which is the kind of French side of CBC. So this is paid for, I guess, by the Canadian government. That's the CBC logo next to RAD. But if you actually look at it, it's not like I can't think of any English language CBC channel doing content as cool as this. They're doing deep dives into pretty interesting and pretty sometimes controversial topics. Somewhere here I saw they're interviewing these Gen Z rappers who are separatists, right? And how Gen Z is really, separatism is rising in Quebec amongst youngsters. And yeah, they were just doing really, look at this, is there a recession of sexuality for Gen Zs? They're talking about Luigi Mangione. I don't see any English language CBC channels talking about is Luigi Mangione a good person? You know, I feel like RAD really goes into some deep places culturally speaking. There's another channel called Urbania. This is another French language one. And after that, I'll switch a bit to English because that's where I spend most of my time watching local Montrealers. But once again, I just want to give some love to our Francophone brothers and sisters over here because these two channels are making really cool content. And Urbania, I noticed they actually do a lot of podcasts, and I feel like a lot of these are probably other Quebecois YouTube channels. So I feel like if you go to these channels, specifically if you go to Urbania and you start looking at who they're talking to, then you'll be completely in the ecosystem of French language Quebecois creators. So yeah, this is really interesting stuff. Moving back to the English side of things, got to shout out the Urbanity. Recently passed 100,000 subscribers. Cool stuff. So they are a urban planning channel. So they talk about a lot of policy stuff regarding housing and bike lanes and just how to make a city more livable. But they do really thought out videos, and they're very careful with their words. That you can tell that a lot of work goes into the writing, a lot of work goes into the B-roll, and I just like their data-driven kind of no-nonsense approach to filmmaking. I don't watch a ton of urbanist YouTube, but another channel, recently retired YouTuber Paige Saunders. This guy used to make why are condos ugly? Yeah, he used to make videos like that, talking about transit, talking about buildings and stuff. But he's pretty much stopped making YouTube videos. He actually started something called Fedihost, this company that's trying to redesign social media and is way too technical and geeky for me to understand what he's talking about. But for anyone who's into that, check out Fedihost. So I guess that's where Paige is at. Though I do miss his old videos, you know. He's like I said, he's a retired Montreal YouTuber. But someone who is not retired, someone who's making banger videos all the time. Look at this, Fads. Our boy Fads just posted an hour ago. That shows you how frequently he's posting. Countries are bribing people to have kids, and it's failing miserably. There's no doubt why his channel is blowing up so quick with titles and thumbnails like that. Yeah, Fad's really someone else who's really thoughtful with his content, really smart guy. We're friends, actually. I have got to know Fadl over the past couple of years, and yeah, it's been great watching his channel blow up. Really really chill vibes, and really as he says here, over here we yap about politics, psychology, and economics. That pretty much sums it up. But great content. Now, speaking of people who I knew would blow up, this guy, I mentioned his name is Will, and his channel's name is Sprouht. And I met up with Sprouht. I actually mentioned him in my video 4 years ago, and I'm pretty sure I said something like, oh, this channel is going to be huge, because sometimes you just see a smaller channel and you just know, like, whatever secret sauce it is that makes a channel blow up, this guy's got it. And but I had no idea the extent of which he would blow up. He's now got over 1 million subscribers, and yeah, he's really narrowed his focus to interviews, both street interviews and oh my God, he interviewed Howie Mandel. Look at this. Howie Mandel shares his best life lessons. Look at this. Okay, so I think Will, yeah, he's got this is amazing. Look at 104-year-old's life advice. Those are the ones I really like. I like when he finds people who have lived long, interesting lives, and they get to share their advice. But you can see here, he's also started to interview more and more celebrities, and really Deepak Chopra. Wow, okay. And again, this is talk about the hustle. I mean, look at, in the last 4 months, look at all these videos. Wow. I gotta work harder. No, but seriously, nice to see. And I guess in a sense, like, there was a time when Will was also doing, this channel was also doing like Montreal, like if I type in Montreal guide, there was a point, yeah, how to travel Montreal. See, you can see that's 4 years ago. And he's moved on. And that's the thing about YouTube. So I guess in a sense, he still is a Montreal YouTube channel. Some of those interviews are in Montreal, but I think he's also traveling more, and I don't know where he's at these days. But so I mean, even myself, like when I'm traveling, I'll often spend months outside of Montreal. So you could say I'm not fully a Montreal channel, but that's kind of where it's kind of like a gray area sometimes. Who else we got? Oh, there was someone, I apologize to anyone I'm forgetting, because there's a few other people who I know, or I've like met up with a couple times, who make cool content in this city. And I know I'm going to forget some names. That's just my scatterbrained brain working the way it does. Oh, though I did just remember Capitaine Montreal. This guy's very active as well. Have we met? I feel we might have met once. I don't know. I don't even know his name, but yeah, I definitely respect. Look at that, 824 videos. And this guy, if you want to really learn about Montreal, like deeper than I can show you, right? Because I'm just kind of casually walking around and hopefully sharing some insights and sharing some beautiful footage of Montreal. But this guy, like this video, a little corner of paradise in Anjou. I've never even been to Anjou, so the secret of the Guy Favreau complex. So like these are really like deep dives into things you might not have known about. A brief history of street food in Montreal. So you can see, yeah. And I think it's just,
Je pense qu'on devrait.
yeah. I was gonna say, I think it's just Google Translate that's making the title show up in English. Auto dubbed.
Video, we'll cover 2 subjects that you really like.
Oh wow, he's actually got a YouTube kind of an AI dub. Oh wow, okay, wow. I mean, that's interesting. I like to watch French language channels to practice my French. Wow, but that's interesting to see channels like fully dubbed now in new languages. Wow. I want to give a shout out to this guy, Dan Schaumann. I think he left Montreal. He was making bike videos around here. And look at this one, cycling 200 kilometers from Montreal to Ottawa. I mean, that's intense. Like, I've never... Was he the guy? I feel like he did a one where he like walked... Yeah, look at this. I walked 60 kilometers from one end of Montreal to the other. So like he walked the island of Montreal, I guess, from east to west. And yeah, he was really tired at the end of that. I remember watching it and being like, this guy is intense. So yeah, it's cool to see. Let me know if you have any recommendations for, because yeah, he left Montreal. He left Canada actually. But I'd like to see more of that. People who are really into fitness, just doing crazy challenges. You know, I'm sure there are fitness YouTubers living in Montreal. I'm sure there are fashion YouTubers, sports YouTubers. Yeah, I'm sure that there are like so many channels who I'm not even aware of. Elena Walks, another channel who does walking content in Montreal. The other one is a G Corb. Oh, look at that. He changed his name. It's now Montreal Walking Tours. So there you go. Another channel walking around Montreal. This guy has tons of walking. 1.2 thousand videos. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, these people are definitely breaking some records on their step counter, you know, their daily steps. I've done a few walking videos like this on my channel. They're fun, but I just feel like I've done like 3 or 4. I'm like, I don't know where else to walk. You know, I'm running out of ideas here. I guess you can walk the same streets, but for me, I think I'm occasionally get into walking videos. I don't think I can be a walking channel, but there's got to be more. There's got to be more. I feel like I'm talking about mostly male channels here. Are there any women doing Montreal content? I feel like Eva Meloche. I'm so bad with names. Is she from Montreal? So this is an example of a channel. She might be a Montreal creator, or she might have just passed. Okay, a productive week at McGill. So McGill is the university here. So that's a Montreal creator. But again, someone who, you know, most of her videos might be out of Montreal. I feel like sometimes people, like Montreal is full of creative people, but then they just live here and create videos in other places, right? Sometimes we underestimate our homes, you know? Sometimes we see home as just like, oh, that's the boring place where I live. And now when I travel, I'm super excited. I'm going to film these other places. I'm going to film Copenhagen or whatever, you know? But then when people from Copenhagen come to Montreal, they think the opposite. They think, oh, now this is really exciting. Everything's new. Actually, that just reminded me. I'm sure that there are some channels who are like Parisians moving to Montreal, moving to Quebec. Like I've seen a few videos that blow up. Here's one, Leah Huang. Is she a Montrealer? Not sure. Really not sure. But there was a channel, it was like French understanding Quebec accent. Now this is like very like stereotypical. Oh, can a French person understand Quebecois? You know, but there's a few channels who I've seen do videos like that, and there was one I saw who I thought that there was some channel that was like this one, Lucille. I'm French, I live in Paris, I make cultural commentary videos. Okay, so she might have just been doing, maybe she's just living in France doing commentary about Quebec. Reacting to Quebec, okay. Yeah, I guess reaction channels are so popular these days. It's like people like me who actually try to travel to places, like we're suckers. You don't need to travel anywhere to make videos anymore. You just stay in your room and you react to things. I gotta start doing that. Okay, wait, I just remember there's a couple more. So there's one, almost looks like it's a tourism board made this, but it's not. It's one person who runs this channel. It's called Discover Montreal, and it's kind of like, it's mostly like compilations. Like there'll be compilations about, like Montreal sandwiches or Montreal neighborhoods or the Montreal Underground or the metro system. So if you're trying to like learn about specific topics, this is always an interesting channel to check out, Discover Montreal. And the last one, I always forget about this channel, but this is really interesting philosophical essays by this channel called Sisyphus 55. So this is an example of a channel that never mentions Montreal. As far as I know, in the videos themselves. But this is a Montreal-based creator who makes really thoughtful video essays talking about philosophy, talking about the acts of creating art and, the fears that humans have, the beautiful pain of having a crush. Some of these, you got to be in the right mood for some of these. Some of these can be very intense, but always done in a sincere way and with these pretty cool animated stick figures. So if that's if that's something you're into as well, highly recommend Sisyphus 55. And I hope you've enjoyed this little look at some Montreal creators. This is by no means a comprehensive list. Just a few of the channels who have caught my attention recently. And if you are a Montreal creator, definitely leave a comment, let us know you're out there. And if you know any other channels I've forgotten, whether they're French language ones to help me with practicing my French, or other English channels, particularly like any smaller channels who you think make really underrated content, let us know. And hopefully this video can just be a resource to kind of bring people closer together in this crazy place known as YouTube. Catch you next time.